Okay, I'm on the first floor, and you can see this railing over here for the stairway that leads to the second floor only runs to here. You need a continuous railing. If you remember in the last video, I had recommended a railing for those two steps. Maybe you want to just wrap one around over here. All right, the French doors are working fine. Doorbell's working fine. I noticed a couple of the windows over here, even though they're newer, when I open them, they slide a little down. That may get worse, see, over time. And so it looks like those other two do the same thing. So it's not that big a deal, but just keep an eye. You don't want those to drop and hurt somebody. See? All right, you got the fireplace over here. Looks pretty good. You can see by some of the dark marks that, you know, they use it occasionally, right? This is the damper that should be open when you're using the fireplace. Otherwise, it should be closed. Inside the firebox where it meets up with the surround, you could use a little bit of pointing in there, and then the top couple bricks that lead up to the smoke chamber, those look like they could use some pointing. But generally speaking, the fireplace looks like it's in pretty good shape. You see you're missing the cap and screen. I mentioned that on the outside. You could see visible daylight. So that's something definitely you should take care of. All right, so I'm going to close that. I don't know if they're going to be leaving this screen for you. If not, you're going to have to buy another one, or maybe install some glass doors. Okay. So over to the dining room. Everything looks like it's in good shape. See, this window doesn't do that. They're good windows. They're Pella windows. So. Onto the kitchen, right? I tested the oven, I tested the microwave. You can see you've got the surface light, you've got the vent fan, but this only recirculates the air. It doesn't go to the outside, just an FYI. All the cabinets are in really good shape. These outlets over here all tied to that ground fault circuit interrupter, right? So this one trips the way it's supposed to. See, and reset it. It says it here, you're supposed to test it monthly. It's a good idea just to press it and test it. Right, refrigerator is working fine. I checked all that, right? See, you got some water. Throw the water in there. All the cabinets look good. Dishwasher works. It's nice and secure. All these outlets over here are tied to this one ground fault circuit interrupter. So when I tripped it, it won't reset. Typically that happens when there's another GFCI in the circuit behind it, which is tripped. And you need to reset that breaker before you can reset this receptacle. And I went through the outside, the inside. I couldn't find another receptacle. I went back to the electric panel. There's nothing that's tripped over there. So I'm not quite sure, but now we have no power over at these outlets at the countertop. So that's something that should be addressed. All right, you have this is a light switch for the cabinet. This over here is power for the dishwasher and the light. That's a little bit unusual, right? And then this switch is for the lights over there. Okay, you have an outlet on the island that's supposed to be tied to a GFCI as well, so that should be corrected. Right, I noticed over here at these older casement windows, you know, they're Anderson windows, they're a little bit older, but they still seem to be working fine, but you're missing the screens over here, so you're definitely going to want to see if you can ask if they have the screens. If not, you could actually get the screens. Yeah, it was a little hard to open it up. A little bit over. Okay. Then over here, you have a little powder room down on the first floor. Why they added a knocker, I don't know, but they have it. So I guess if someone takes too long. Everything was running fine over here. Toilet's well secured. The toilet seat is loose. Right. And then this has a GFCI, which is fine. I tested that and that's working fine. Then we go into this little sunken living room over here. Right. Again, you may want to consider adding a handrail. So if an elderly person needs to come and walk down over here, you can have them. Right. You've got separate zones for the thermostats. I checked the heat. Everything seems to be working fine. This is your secondary chimney. Right. Over here, you definitely could use repointing between the firebox and the surround. There's a big space over here that's filled in with fiberglass insulation. It's fine to have the fiberglass insulation to prevent drafts, but this really should be sealed with something that's heat resistant. Right. So it's all metal. You know, again, no cap or screen. So you can get animals that'll fly down over here. You definitely want to put that in. So, yeah, that damper door doesn't close, so that should be fixed also. Again, I don't know if they're leaving this screen. If not, you'll have to get a new screen and doors. Right, and then you have this nice little sunroom. Right, I opened and closed the sliding glass doors. It seems like the screens are a little sticky in a couple of areas. They're also damaged. Some damage there. There's some damage there. Right, this outlet over here is loose. Yeah, I guess those are all the screens that are damaged. And then you do have an outlet that has a GFCI over here, so that works fine. All right, and when I tested the outside receptacles, I don't know if I mentioned it in the exterior, but they have power, but I'm presuming that they don't have the GFCIs. One does have it, but it's just not tripping. So that's something that definitely seems to be a recurring theme. Just have an electrician come out and look at all the receptacles in the house and make sure everything's wired properly. Okay, that's it. Inspection's done.